Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootleggers, shills, desolators, peasants, vassals, meat sacks, gluttons for punishment. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome. And I want to talk about the cliche industry. But first, quickly, I want to apologize for putting out so many videos so quickly. It's not usually my style to put out 4 videos a day, but I'm trying to do a little catch up and get underneath some of these stories that were important that happened the last 9 months I've been gone. So anyway, that said, let's get back to this cliche industry. It's an industry that's devoted to filming clips and stock footage that they use in all sorts of corporate videos, and more importantly, for us these days, campaign and election ads that are used using these stock footage. So I did a video once before on canned news, these organizations that create entire newscasts and then just mail them out to local stations all over the country and use this template. And so if sometimes you think your news is completely canned, garbage, well, it is. So as it turns out, even all the material used in all the advertising out there is now basically being mass produced as well on a cheap scale. And that's part of the appeal is economics. But this industry is devoted to filming clips and stock footage that are staged and framed to display generic cheerfulness. And of course, anyone who's spent any time watching any advertising whatsoever in campaign ads are often sickened by just the constant cheerfulness and all this fake cheerfulness. And looking at all these smiling, happy faces down at McDonald's, when a lot of times you go to a McDonald's and it's about as sobering as going to the bus station. And so anyway, this is the reason why. And of course, it causes a ripple effect through citizens and Americans because, sometimes they think that, well, the real world out there is all these cheerful people, and it's kind of depressing when they go out there and they find out it's not. So this standard, this stereotype, this cliche is held out there as a model. And interestingly enough, of course, we have entire corporate industries that are built up trying to create this illusion within and without their within side and outside their corporations and their corporate images and employee relationships and micromanagement, all this cheerfulness. But these clips and photos can be used by industry or organizations, and they're readily downloadable. So it's about as convenient as you can get, completely dehumanized. You can just go on and get your flag waving children pictures and films and use them for whatever you want. Just download them right off the internet. And photo agencies such as Getty Images and Shutterstock and Pond S compile millions of photos and videos. And some of these clips are available for as low as $19. So say you wanted a picture of a farmer or a film or a picture of a farmer in Montana. It really is just so easy with stock footage. It might cost you $500, but actually going to Montana, which would only be an incremental improvement, might cost $5,000. So like I mentioned earlier, it's a completely economic issue. And so the whole idea is certainly driven by economics, but like a lot of things, it has a plus side, the economics, the convenience, this bank of footage, films and photos that anyone can use. But of course, like everything, there's a downside, and the downside is this use of cliches and jingoism and this manipulation, which of course is nothing new in election campaigns and corporations. So this is made to order for them. But I thought there was an interesting point in this article. Said in the past 5 years, a young boy waving a flag in slow motion, unquote, the same one has appeared in ads by Scott Walker, Carly Fiorina, Ben Carson, Mitt Romney, Mark Rubio, and Ted Cruz. They've all used the same flag waving child, and of course it works. It's great because all somebody has to do is see these images associated with their candidates, and all of a sudden they become patriotic, and that's the whole point. It's an emotional trigger. It's not necessarily intellectual. Your brain reads all these signals, and automatically, Ted Cruz could be wearing a Nazi armband, and as long as he's got a waving American flag waving child in slow motion behind him, he's going to seem as patriotic as they come. And so I guess recent hits in this industry of marketing stereotypes and archetypes is time-lapse images of busy streets, bird's eye footage of big cities, people wielding high-tech equipment, looking authoritative, and of course in this political season, cornfields, windmills, and horses in pastures. So, you know, when you know about the machinery behind where all these images come from, it becomes even more trite and offensive to see this, how easily people are manipulated, how easy it is to draw from all these icons and all these myths and all these cliches and all these stereotypes and get their message across and have their propaganda and their marketing all work so easily. And it's just that easy with this kind of machinery. And in fact, one of my favorite quotes out of the whole article is people in the industry talking about, quote, "We're not ashamed to deal in cliches, they sell," unquote. And I think that really sums it all up. They're not ashamed to deal in cliches because they sell, and cliches sell. And all the manipulation of the public, well, both during the campaign season and in shopping sprees and corporate PR and the bankers and all the other bad actors in the world, they just rely on this easy manipulation of the bewildered herd through the use of these cliches because they sell. And some providers I thought also was interesting. It's a burgeoning cottage industry. Some providers use themselves, not even actors. There's one gentleman who uh, supplies these videos. He's a white man in his 60s, which of course is a key demographic, and he has appeared in his own films and photos as a corn farmer, a grandfather, a senior worrying about his bills, a runner, a man with a knee injury, a professor, and an engineer. So there we have it. Everybody can get in on the cliche business because, well, it's cheap. Cliches work and they sell. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too. Oh, too late. We're all useful idiots.